Welcome to the LPA Podcast. I'm Mia Perlman, Managing Director of Affinity Property Group and Fine & Country Costa del Sol, and the Vice President of LPA. I'm joined here today by my partner in podcast crime, Sean Woolley from Cloud9, along with our guest, Miguel Manzanares from Manzanares Lawyers, a specialist in immigration, residency and cross-border legal matters. In today's episode, we will be discussing the visa options available to non-EU nationals who are considering relocating to Spain, whether for work or lifestyle purposes. We'll be focusing on the newly launched employment-based work visa, and we will also be exploring the broader range of residency pathways currently available for the Nomad and the non-lucrative visas. Let's get started. Welcome, Miguel. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
We have our chat GPT of law today, so we're very grateful that you're here.
Thank you very much.
And we're just discussing the visa process today, but more so the new visa that's been launched and is being hailed as a kind of a rescue option for lots of people that want to all of a sudden move to Spain. And it's the employment-based work visa. Could you just talk us through the pros and the cons and any information on this?
Well, this law was approved by almost the end of 2025, by 19th of November. And this is really bringing the possibility of obtaining a visa, which I'm going to explain that legally is a residency, for those that are seeking a job in Spain. But it's not for everybody. This legislation, this regulation is very restricted for only two groups of citizens. Of course, there's got to be non-European Union citizens that are looking to find a job in Spain. And the two groups are groups number one, which are children or grandchildren of people that used to have the Spanish passport. And the really big group, a big number of citizens on this group in especially Latin American countries, as well as USA and many other countries, but very, very typically many Spanish people were moving to those countries and therefore they have children or grandchildren that they don't have that passport anymore and they want to seek a job in Spain. So this is the group number one. The group number two is also very, I would say that even more restricted because in Spain we have a catalogue of occupations that we have a shortage of workers. That catalogue is very restricted because it's supervised, is oversight by the trade union. And consequently, this is not in the catalogue for every kind of job, every kind of profession. It's a very limited, restricted number of professions that are including in that catalogue of occupations with shortage of workers. And therefore, this is the second group, right? So therefore, it's important to mention that this is not a law for absolutely everybody that is based on a non-European Union country, considering to move to Spain is only for those two groups of people. Maybe it's not being explained in depth enough.
I think so, yeah. I think because what we're seeing on social media is probably not a representation of what's actually the application process. Because I've seen a lot of British people on the social media, I don't know about you, Sean, where they're saying, let's apply for the work visa, let's do it. All of a sudden we can get to Spain. We've got 12 months to find a job. And after that, we can get a residency.
Yeah, I think it was because people thought it was any job, didn't they? So they thought, okay, I know
somebody that works in Spain. I'll get.
Yeah, I'm going to go and be an estate agent in Spain, and you know.
I mean, I've had many calls
old.
About it.
Really?
So I'm just about to blow their dreams up because it's not a possibility.
Well, there are really many other possibilities, right? This was a possibility for working permits. Basically, it's not for everybody that wants to establish a residency. It's really for someone that wants to work for a company based in Spain, and very specifically for those two groups of people, right? So if someone is in England, has a British passport, but is a son of a Spanish or grandson of a Spanish, is in the group number one.
Right.
Or in the second group, we have to have a look to that catalogue of certain professions, like there's a shortage of fishermen, for instance. Okay, there's a shortage. This is a very restricted catalogue, and like I said, the trade union in Spain is very protective for those Spanish people that of not attracting other workers from other countries and then limiting job to therefore that catalog is very easy to imagine, that is very restricted and is very oversight by trade union, and consequently is a very short catalog. So these are the two groups. So this law that has gone like a possibility of having another avenue of becoming resident in Spain or finding a working permit is not that general, is a very specific for those two groups.
What is interesting though is we get a lot of inquiries from the USA, and a lot of those, we know when you see the surnames or even the names of the people that inquire, a lot of them are Spanish related.
Martinez, Gonzalez.
Absolutely. The amount of Hispanics
from America,
Yeah, from the States is incredible. But if they've got parents or grandparents who were Spanish nationals, then are they included in Group 1?
Absolutely.
So that's a great way for some of the younger generations of Americans with Spanish roots to move back to their...
Yeah.
But I think the main criteria is the Brits, because the Brits are all looking for a way to spend more time here.
Well, they shouldn't have voted for Brexit.
Here we go, my controversial partner in crime. Here we go. Okay, they shouldn't have maybe, but apart from the work visa, are there other options? What are we talking about? Because I get quite confused when somebody comes into the office and they say, my client wants to spend more than 180 days here. They're 45 years old. They've got a job in the UK. They're self-employed. Is that a non-lucrative visa? Is it a nomad visa? Where do we go with this? Can you clarify the categories of visas and what we can use them for? Because
there is a possibility which is always 90 days every 180. And this rule I want to explain because sometimes people are confusing this rule and thinking that the rule is that from the 1st of January up until the end of June is the first period, 90 days, and then the second period is from the 1st of July up until the end of the year. This is not correct. This is a mistake. It's not the way to do it.
It's a rolling.
It's a rolling, exactly. So therefore, every single time in a period of 180 days, I have the right to spend in Spain 90, which you have to look backwards every single time that I'm about to arrange a trip to Spain and see what about your last 180 days and how many of them you have used.
There are apps on your phone now, aren't there, where it keeps a tally for you. Because there's nothing worse than trying to get into Spain or trying to get out and you're like, oh, sorry, you can't. So you need it on your phone.
With the new passport as well.
There are apps, they're really people that used to have in an Excel sheet in which you were programming a little bit. But everything you've got to do is you have to look backwards, your last 180 days. You know that you have a credit of 90. How many days of that credit have you used and how many days are you able to use? So this is really the first thing, which is a touristic visa, which 90 days every 180 is half.
That suits a lot of people, doesn't it, as well? People who are just coming and going as a holiday home, but you've just got to keep your eye on the allowance.
Because you've got to reflect about something. Are you really able, are you really prepared to stay in Spain longer than half of the year? Because the question has a very clear answer for most of people. I cannot stay in Spain longer than 183 because I have a business, because I have a job, because I have commitments. And therefore, for those people, this system of touristic visa has the flexibility. And in fact, you can be pretty much 50% of the year in Spain.
But it doesn't flip you over.
Respecting the rule, of course. But the thing is, you've got to be aware that you can't commit with the Spanish authorities to stay longer than 183 because you have a job, because you have a family, because you have a business or whatever, right? So this is group number one. But anyway, there are really people that say, I don't have a job anymore. I want to exceed 183 days. Or
I'm a remote worker.
People that is a very interesting group of people coming over to Costa del Sol, which is those that they say, I do have a job, but I do have the flexibility to stay in Spain because I can work from home, because I am self-employed, but I do certain kind of activities that I can do it from home, etc. So those people that say, I want to be in Spain because I am retired. I want to be in Spain because I have the flexibility. and I need to spend more than 183 days. For the first group of people, I am retired, you have a non-lucrative visa, which is not a visa, it's residency. It's for those people that say, I am ready and I am prepared to commit myself with 183 days a year. Because I'm retiring, I have to have a very easy, simple list of requirements. 30,000 euros in a bank account. It's not. Then having, we say normally the rule of 30,000 and 30,000. The 30,000 per year, because it's really 7,500 per member of the family. We normally estimate a family of 4, therefore it's really, but it's not that.
It's not a big income.
It's not a big thing to become resident. So these people, I am retired, I am willing, I am ready.
I have 60,000 euros and I want to retire in Spain.
And are those figures in place to stop people relying on the Spanish state? Is that so that they are self-sufficient financially?
Yeah, but basically the rule has been established to try to say, okay, you are not going to be a charge for the state. You come with no incomes and no job, and therefore, okay, fair enough that you want to retire, but how are you going to support yourself and your family once you are living in Spain?
So
right?
You must have an income as well, or no?
Yeah, it's 30,000 like a bank account, and 30,000 income. Which is not really 30,000. I have used the example of four members of the family, right? It's 7,500.
So if it's a couple, it would be 15,000 a year income.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's doable for most.
Yeah, you have a bank account with 30,000. You have those kind of 15,000. So this is really not that complicated, and therefore this is the group of people that say, I am prepared, I'm ready, I am retiring, perfect.
And that income, sorry to interrupt, that income, because they're retired, it's probably going to be from pension. Overseas pension or investments.
Rental that you have back at home. You have a property, and then you're renting that property out, and then you receive a rental income or a pension or any kind of pension of income is really well considered. Second group, people say, I'm not retired, but I want to spend more days, and I have the flexibility. So therefore, if you have the flexibility, let's use the Nomad Visa. The Nomad Visa is that if you've been working for somebody like an employee, or even if you are self-employed, you can continue your activities. This is a very important element. You've got to continue doing what you were doing, following the example in the UK, So when you were working for a company, and the requirement is very little time, so you don't need to be working for many years. It's only 3 months, actually.
Oh, wow.
So if you've been working for a company 3 months, and you can work from home, you can come to Spain and you can apply the Nomad Visa.
Nomad.
Digital Nomad.
The Digital Nomad. There are many ways of. It's not a visa. It's not. Basically, in the end, is the residency for those people that are eligible, that they can work from home doing the employee activity, and all be self-employed as well. And self-employed, the requirement is to be working up in your country, let's say, following the example of UK, more than 1 year. You've been self-employed doing, IT consultancy. So you can keep doing that in Spain, and you can even invoice companies and business that you can generate in Spain.
I was going to say, because isn't there a restriction if you're applying for the Nomad Visa, you can't be employed by a Spanish company?
You can only be employed by one company and not by two, or that depends. But you can generate 20% of in Spain.
Okay. But the rest has to be.
The rest has to be because the principle and the rationale. Every law has a rationale behind. When in the parliament, when they identify the need, the necessity of regulating, creating a law, is because they see a social need, a necessity of certain things, and you got to understand that to be able to understand very well what the law says in everything, right? Because when you understand, and the rationale of this Nomad Visa is the continuity, is that you continue to do the same things that you were doing in your country in Spain, with the same company, with the same level of incomes, with the same taxation, everything the same. So therefore, this is the group. because the legal and tax matters can be very boring. And if we go into too much detail, it's impossible to retain in the memory everything I'm going to say. But but it's good to have the general picture. And the general picture is, if you are not able to be in Spain longer than 183, use the touristic visa, 90 days, every 180, very much flexibility, and then that's it. You are willing to stay in Spain. You have two categories. I am retired, non-lucrative visa. I am not retired, but I am still working for a company, but I have the flexibility. Come here. The rest of the people, if they don't have the flexibility to travel, they will never be able to exceed 183 days in the year. If they don't have the flexibility to travel because they don't work from home, I don't really see which company is really letting someone to be working less than 183. So therefore, I believe that considering these three options, you cover
the vast majority of people.
I find most of the people that want to relocate here are people that do have some money, but they're still young enough to work. People in their 40s and 50s who would like to relocate to Spain, would like to get employment here, and would like to spend more than 180 days here. Is that just not a possibility right now?
Absolutely. You can apply a working permit. You can apply a job to a company. The thing is, this new regulation is giving the possibility of someone to be 12 months residency in Spain, finding a job. You don't need to find a job from your own country. You can stay here, you can rent a place, you can live in a place here for 12 months looking and seeking a job in Spain. But you can equally do the same thing from your country. You can use your 90 days back and forth to seek a job. If a company wants to employ you, there is a procedure about the working permit, which is really something that we can work.
So if somebody comes to Affinity and I want to employ them as an office manager, and they've got the skills that I need, can I employ that British person? Yeah. And they will become
They will.
A resident?
Then, in that sense, I will really apply a working permit for them, and when they are approved, which is really something that it can be done, and we do it on regular basis.
Right.
So that person is going to have the permit of the working permit, and consequently the residency status.
But what about going
back?
This
is really possible.
Absolutely. So that is possible. That's quite a big.
But what about
opening.
going back to the start of what we were saying about there being, you either need to have a Spanish heritage or you need to
Category
be
1 or Category 2.
Yeah. Does that not apply in this situation?
Yeah, but the thing is, what this is giving you is not an automatic working permit. And this is really very important clarification. This gives you the possibility of staying in Spain 12 months, seeking a job.
Yeah, to look for a job.
But once you found a job, once you have an employer that wants to employ yourself, you have to do the same route, like you said, working permit application and so on. In this law, the working permit application is quicker and faster because it's really kind of giving facility to cover the Spanish descendants or to that group that we really need workers on that very group. But so therefore the working permit goes like in a kind of, let's say, fast track.
Yeah, right.
And the other one, it goes in the normal
track.
Normal track.
Okay, so I'm still slightly confused. So if Mia took on somebody from the UK who was job hunting, and she took her on as an office manager, and office manager is not in the list of key skills that are needed.
You can work.
You can work. But this is quite big then. This is big news.
But this has been always.
It's all been,
this is not something newly regulated.
Because I've interviewed a few people over the past years where I've felt that they are right for the job, but they don't have their paperwork. They don't have a,
we
they're
have
not
to
registered.
go through the procedures of the working permit. So the working permit is a procedure that was always regulated. It's nothing new. It's nothing revolutionary. It's really like always, right? A working permit. So everybody you can work, and we have to go that route. And this is approved. I cannot really say categorically that everybody is going to get the approval.
No. And
it's case by case. This is something that is very much case by case, but it is possible that someone is working from a non-European country in Spain. This is the general route. The other route is like this new law that is, okay, I'm going to give you 12 months of residency because you are better seeking a job, staying in Spain all the way and not having to respect the 90-180 rule.
For the specific categories.
Yeah. And honestly, these specific categories, if you look at the catalogue and then you look at, they are really kind of jobs that you can seek those kind of jobs better while you are in Spain, because you have interview and you have to go to the port of Cadiz, so therefore
to go on the boat.
Exactly. So therefore, it's not like working in
an office
in another position. So therefore, the government considered and the Parliament has approved as a Real Decreto that we're going to give a 12 months residency for those people while seeking their job. And once they found their job, we're going to give them a little bit of a fast track to get the working permit in a quicker, easier, faster way than...
Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm still confused. You knew it'd be me, didn't you? You knew it'd be me. Okay, so I have applied. I'm in the UK. I've seen a job advert at Mia's place for an office manager, and I think, I could do that. We meet, you interview me, you think I'm amazing.
Yeah,
you say, Sean, the job is yours, but you need to speak to Miguel to try and get in here. Yeah. And I thought that the only way I can do this is if the job of office manager is something that the Spanish system doesn't have any restrictions on. So basically, overseas people can apply for it.
Not really. No, it's not like a no in general.
Okay, but I thought the rule was you either had to be of Spanish heritage or you had to be applying for a job that was in
the catalog.
High demand.
No, this is a new thing. So this regulation is now in force since November 25.
Which is the categorized?
Yes, to give to those people those categories. Those people that didn't have the possibility of staying in Spain 12 months as a resident in Spain while seeking a job. That possibility didn't exist. Okay. You had to find a job while you were in Venezuela or in Argentina, and if you come to Spain, respect the rule of the 90 days, or seeking a job from your country. Because of not, and then now this is really the good new thing is that, okay, you can come to Spain and stay 12 months in a row with no restriction as a resident while seeking a job. And if you found that job, then quicker, faster and easier. That's the thing. But before 19th of November 25, the system, regulation in Spain was giving working permits to people from every corner of the world. Wow. And not necessarily in high demand. You have cleaners and you have workers from every country, like builders and all those professions, like cleaning, domestic maid. They were not in the catalogue of occupations where the shortage of they were not. They've never been. Yeah. But you have people from Philippines working in Spain, people from Pakistan, you have guys in the building industry from Senegal. Those guys, they came to Spain with a working permit. They came to Spain because they had an offer of job, and then we did all the process. That process is longer, it used to be always, but of course, every single employee that you have in Spain, from before 25, we had quite a few thousands of people working in Spain from non-EU before that, right?
If I offer Sean a job, he's in England, I offer him a job, I've done a Zoom interview with him, and I think he's the guy. So I offer him a full-time position, a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. What is the process? What do I do? Does Sean approach you? Do I approach you as the employer?
Yeah, you normally come to us, and then we're going to guide you through the process of what kind of the offer of job, and we have to register that in the Instituto Nacional de Empleo, which is the employment institution, and we got to find that the similar jobs have been offered to other people that have been declining or rejecting, or there's a difficult, and then it's really
a little process.
It's a little process, right?
Because my next question
but it's not
was
impossible.
Right.
This is what I mean. So it's it's a big no for all, and only a yes for those. No. These are new fast track groups.
Because my next question was, what happens if a Spanish resident finds out that you've employed me and says,
I can do that.
why are you employing somebody from the UK when I'm available to do that office manager job and I'm a resident of Spain and paying my taxes here?
Yeah, that depends on many things, right? So this is why I said it's very specific, because if you go to INE, Instituto Nacional de Empleo, if you have 10,000 people in the queue of being hired by a company that is identical position, that is you, not anything different. Okay, then you've got to offer some people, decline it, and there is a process around it, right? But if the profile that company is looking for is exactly a little bit more towards you, and the list of people in the INE, which is really, there is a very nice level of employment in Spain, at the moment. Therefore, the chances of having a working permit are really, really high.
Okay.
So therefore, it's not a no for everybody. It's not a yes for everybody.
No.
It's a process in which you have to. We will guide you. We will let you know, and we are assisting many companies looking for specific jobs. And they are sometimes hire people from European Union countries, from non-European Union countries. And this is very normal, and has been normal through decades of non-Europeans workers in Spain. This is not new since November last year, right?
Here's a bit of a curveball question for you. I'm sorry about these questions, Miguel. If I wanted to hire an American salesperson because I wanted them to best advise our American clients, or an English salesperson from the UK, somebody came to me and I thought, wow, you're amazing. You'll be great with our English buyers or our American buyers. Is that likely to be okay, or will I get resistance from the authorities?
That could be worked in a very okay,
Okay, basically because of the synergy of...
You got to create the type of profile that you're looking to achieve, and with a little bit of right advice, we can have a strong application.
Would you have to provide a job application to the?
I think it needs to be a formal process.
There is a formal process. It's really established in the law. Well, the law is really implementing a number of articles, but really all articles of the law, Article 77 for the process. It's really, like I said, this is very technical. This is very delicate, detailed, and I think actually. So much diesel that I try to say, if I give all of it,
they better be a good employee.
Everybody's going to disconnect this because
I'm after a free consultation.
Oh my goodness! Right. So just going back, so we've got the new employment-based visa, which is not so new, but we've got the original one, the new one from November 25. With the categories.
November 25. Yeah, correct.
Then we have the Nomad Visa. We have the non-lucrative visa, which we've been through. Are there any other visas?
And then we have as well the lucrative.
Is that somebody who wants to invest in?
Yeah, someone wants to run a business and invest, which is really, you've got to create a business plan. You've got to show to the authorities that you have created a viable model of business with a place that you have rented and the people that you're thinking of and the marketing and a business plan program that you convince the authorities that your business, the way that you're going to operate is going to be successful. Do we see this very often? Not that often, because it is possible and it's regulated, and we will guide the client if that is what they want. But the categories are, like I would say, 3 in general, from a practical point. People that cannot commit to exceed 183 days because they have commitments and impossible. 90 days every 180. People that are able to commit and willing to commit more than 183 days. 2 categories. Category number 1, I am retired, non-lucrative. Category number 2, I am working with flexibility, nomad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if I'm a multimillionaire and I want to start a real estate business in Spain and invest lots of money into the local economy, the way to do that would be...
The way to do that from a very theoretical point of view is the lucrative.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
From a pragmatic point of view is a non-lucrative, and then once you are resident, then you create your business and then you adapt it.
Is that the easier way?
It's the most pragmatic way.
Yeah. So get here on the back of the non-lucrative.
You get residency in Spain like a non-lucrative because you have the money, 30,000 euros in a bank account, like I said, Okay, fine. Non-lucrative residency. And once you are in Spain, you want to set up the business and you want to adapt that kind of retirement position to active company.
So you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Very interesting.
Fantastic. I mean, that's exactly what we need to know. Everybody's going to be chopping up this podcast and sending it to their friends and family. Most people just can't come along.
You can see that there is an option for
the vast majority
For the
of
vast
people.
majority, there's an option, but there needs to be some money in place, health insurance as well as
you've got to have a clean criminal record. Number of requirements. Clean criminal records, health insurance, which is in Spain very inexpensive. If we compare the cost of health insurance in on other countries of the world, it's quite inexpensive, I would say. And and then of course the applications and the pictures and the signing of the sponsorship agreement that I am committing to sponsor and support my family. Bureaucratic steps, but that I gave, of course, the main main information.
Good. Fantastic. Thank you so much. That's it for today, everybody. We've got our visa information there. Anything that you need in the future, you can contact Manzanares International Law Firm.